This week at NASA.
Liftoff of Alexander Skvortsov, Tracy Caldwell-Dyson, and Mikhail Kornienko beginning their journey to the International Space Station.
The new members of the Expedition 23 crew began their journey to the International Space Station with a successful launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Soyuz Commander Alexander Skvortsov, flight engineers Mikhail Kornienko, and Tracy Caldwell-Dyson will spend the next 6 months aboard the orbiting complex. The new arrivals share the Expedition 23 workload with ISS Commander Oleg Kotov and flight engineers Soichi Noguchi and T.J. Creamer. When those three, who've been on the station since December, return to Earth in June, Dyson and her 2 Russian crewmates will transition to serve on Expedition 24.
Will make you glow in the dark.
Soon on their way to the ISS are the members of the STS-131 crew. They're scheduled to lift off with Space Shuttle Discovery from the Kennedy Space Center on Monday at 6:21 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
So I would say it's an extremely thorough review. We went through it fairly methodically. It's, again, a tribute to the team down here at KSC that have got the vehicle processed and got it ready to go flying.
The 7 astronauts have a busy 13-day schedule in space. Mission specialists Rick Mastracchio and Clay Anderson will conduct 3 6.5-hour-long spacewalks outside the ISS to replace and retrieve equipment, and a Japanese experiment that exposed several materials to the harsh environment of space. The 2 are veteran spacewalkers and have worked together during STS-118.
We did about a 5.5-hour EVA. Rick unfortunately had a cut in his glove, and the cut in his glove necessitated that he get back in the airlock a little earlier than we would have liked, and so our EVA was just slightly shorter than what we had nominally expected, but we had a lot of fun, did some very cool things.
I'm looking forward to getting out the door again with Clay. He's great to work with.
The other STS-131 crew members are Commander Alan Poindexter, pilot Jim Dutton, and mission specialists Stephanie Wilson, Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger, and Naoka Yamazaki of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency.
Ice frost ramp all the way down the tank.
The crew of STS-133 was at the Michoud Assembly Facility in New Orleans to thank its workforce for producing the external tank that'll help fuel Space Shuttle Discovery's ascent to the International Space Station later this year.
Even though you see me take lots of pain.
Commander Stephen Lindsay and his crew toured the facility for an up-close and personal look at how an external tank is built. Joining Lindsay at a gathering of Michoud employees was pilot Eric Bowe and mission specialists Alvin True, Mike Barrett, Tim Copra, and Nicole Stott. Discovery will deliver cargo, equipment, and critical spare components to the International Space Station. Launch is targeted for September. Students, educators, scientists, and the public came together at the Pasadena Convention Center for Climate Day 2010, a fun-filled educational event about Earth's changing climate. Representatives from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, universities, and other organizations gave presentations about environmental factors contributing to global warming.
A lot of the teachers and students passing through today have shown a real interest in what we're doing. Their knowledge base is very good at the moment. I think a lot of the media has highlighted attention to the greenhouse gases and the need to probably do something about reducing their emissions from fossil fuel combustion.
Climate Day also featured hands-on activities, exhibits, demonstrations, and games. In addition, during a town hall meeting, participants were able to quiz experts about the latest research on Earth's atmosphere, oceans, ice cover, and ecosystems. Dozens of teachers are conducting real science in an extreme environment. Through Ames Research Center's Spaceward Bound project, NASA has sent teachers to California State University's Desert Study Center in Zzyzx. Here, on the edge of the barren Mojave Desert, they help conduct NASA-related field science. The data and knowledge they glean at Zzyzx will be used to develop experiments, demonstrations, and lesson plans for their students.
The lesson we want them to learn is what it's like to explore environments that are remote but interesting, like the moon, like Mars, and to take that lesson back into their classrooms, teach it to their students, because those students are going to be the astronauts that are going to actually do that exploration on the moon and Mars when we finally go there.
Another spaceward bound, scheduled for mid-April in Namibia, will focus on hippolyths, a photosynthetic organism that lives underneath rocks in extreme desert environments. And that's this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.nasa.gov.